after that.
Nice. Happy Monday. Today's video is not just on how to be sciatica free while gardening, but how to take good care of your back and your spine, and how you can continue to do this and be happy and safe and effective. Okay, so if anything hurts, always please stop and contact your healthcare provider. But Dr. Rochelle is going to be demonstrating. We're going to be doing, what do you call that? Tilling, raking.
Yeah, just prepping your garden, like any type of like outdoor tool that you're going to be using. You put your body into this position. So use this anytime you're, with a rake or a shovel. The same principles will apply.
Okay. So typically when most people do this, it's going to be hard to tell it because it's really nuanced, but most people adopt a slouched. No, stand back up and then slouch at your shoulders and then a rake like that. So what you can't see is there's a lot of pressure on Rochelle's spine. You can see that the weight looks like it's on her left foot compared to her right foot, and her back is actually rounded. And now the stance that you want to take is a hinge at the waist. So your glutes are going to be engaged, your back is going to be straight, your tummy is going to be tucked and tight, and now you're in the warrior position. So when you pull, your spine is braced and protected as opposed to loose.
Thinking about bearing down too, so thinking about if someone were to punch you in the stomach, that feeling of bracing is a good thing to do also every time you're putting the tool in and pulling.
Perfect. So now that we have prepared the garden, the next thing we're going to be moving on to is planting the garden. So typically when it comes to planting, what happens is the bent over. So you can see legs are straight, back is bent over, and most of the motion is actually happening in and around Rochelle's spine. You can get out of that position because I know that's painful.
Doesn't feel good.
We don't want motion coming from your spine. We want your spine to be braced and tight. So the way that we want to approach this is actually in a squat position. So when you're in a squat position, you can see Rochelle's heels are on the ground, her back is straight, and most of the motion is not coming from her back, it's coming from her arms and her legs, which is how we want to do this.
Even if that's uncomfortable for you, and another thing you can do is get knee pads.
Good.
Or put some type of towel down, get down on your knees. You can do the same position. You can hinge, brace, keep your stomach straight, and dig that way.
Great. And now that we have prepared the garden, we're going to be talking about how to properly ditch the garden waste. You can see the kids' play area there. Can't avoid it. But it can be a basket, a bin, a bag.
Even those big yard waste bags, they're really clumsy, they're really awkward, they're really heavy. So now that you've done all this work in the garden, you want to still protect your spine when you're lifting the heavy stuff and removing it.
So what we don't want to do is we don't want to pick it up, again, moving our spine, one-handed, off balance, and we don't want to keep anything heavy away from our body as we're moving it. What that does is that puts uneven and heavy stress on your spine. It can cause a lot of trouble. So go ahead and show the correct form.
You want to get to it, as close to it as possible, bending down, pulling it into your body and lifting and carrying it close to you.
So there you go, guys. There's 3 really simple tips that will pretty much cover almost all of gardening. I'm sure there's a couple exceptions that we missed.
Or any type of yard work.
If you have any comments or questions, post them below and we'll talk to you next week.